In today's episode, there are a few things that I want us to talk about, right? Very interesting. Number one is the woman who's this person, Elizabeth Precious, who was sewn in, and she is working. She is a sergeant at the South African Police Service Canine Unit in Soweto, right? She has been with the South African Police Service in 2021. In 2024, she's a sergeant, right? There's somebody that said to me, I've been a constable for 13 years. 13 years. So this one comes in 2021. We'll talk about that. We'll get back to that one. Well, there's another interesting aspect here. Is the issue of the car, Yaga Longwe. The car is, the ignition is on, the car is moving, the ignition is off. There's something interesting about that, eh? How is the car moving while the ignition is off? How when the ignition is on, the car is suddenly when the ignition is off, the car is moving. When the ignition is on, the car is not moving. There's something about that. But then bad news or sad news to all of us or to some of us is the fact that the court had to be adjourned or had to adjourn because Advocate Mgomezulu fell ill and they will come back tomorrow. It has been confirmed. So we saw some strange things that happened in the courtroom today. Very strange, right? Notwithstanding the fact that suddenly the defense were like, we're not going to oppose the application to have this person testifying. Don't worry. So things to remember before we proceed. Number one, the lawyer was working for a vehicle. The lawyer is a vehicle tracking expert, was working for that company. Her name is Elizabeth Precious, Pretocious Maria, not Precious, Pretocious Maria, right? And she was sworn in today as a witness. She is now a sergeant in the South African Police Service, a unit somewhere in Soweto. She has been with the South African Police Service since 2021. She's already a sergeant. 2020, earlier or beginning of maybe earlier 2021, she was still working with the trucking company. 2022, now she is in the South African Police Service. Wow. I'm not saying anything about people getting promotion in a mysterious or in a suspicious way. We're gonna get into that, right? Just give me a moment. Give me time. But before I can successfully do this, it would be interesting and it would be nice for you to do this. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the super thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying? We'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. So obviously she said things that I kind of expected her to say this. She says that units that get installed got a specific serial number as well as a SIM card inside the unit. Things like that. I was like, okay, this one makes a lot of sense, right? How do they get these things? Okay, they will receive a 205 to subpoena and 205 subpoena from an investigator on section 205 will give me the details of the vehicle and the date and the timeline required, and that is when I will draw the report as well as the statement, right? No problem. So they will get that from the tracker to see your movement and everything. Okay, we said no problem. At this moment, nothing is, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry. We'll get into this interesting part, right? The report of the vehicle was given starting from which date? The 24th of October 2024 to the 27th of October 2024. That is what she told us today in court. So she gave them that report. After that, no. Listen to this one. I want you to remember Zandi Khumalo. Do you remember the testimony of Zandi Khumalo and when they described the arrival time of Longwe Twala, right? It is very important for you guys to remember, according to Zandi Khumalo, when did Longwe Twala arrive? And according to the tracker report, when did Longwe Twala arrive? The same Longwe Twala, right? Now, we'll come back to Zandi Khumalo. Let me give you this one. The vehicle is moving at Kutlwanong Street at about 17:57:29 seconds. That will be 3 minutes to 7, right? The vehicle shows ignition off at Kutlwanong Street for Sloras. 1 minute later, at 7 o'clock, the ignition is on. Remember, at 2 minutes to 7, it was off. At 7 o'clock, the ignition is on. It is very important. Sorry, guys. It's very important to notice this. Then Advocate Baloyi is asking, if I can ask you to put the trip number on record on the 26th of October 2024. She says that Pretorius, there is trip 73 and 74 on that date. So, okay, now pay attention to this. Later on, this becomes very much relevant. And then this is another interesting one. Remember, 7 o'clock, the ignition was on. Ignition is off at 1 minute past 7. At 20:43, that will be 17 minutes to 9. The vehicle indicate motion at Kutlwanong Street. So the car is moving. It's very interesting to track that the car is moving at Kutlwanong Street, but it never arrives anywhere. It just moves. It is moving. Kutlwanong Street, but how big is Kutlwanong Street, guys? If you don't, that's why I said, pay attention to what I said previously and this one. So I'm going to show you something. At 20:43, there's a movement of the vehicle, right? 44 seconds, and then the ignition is turned off. Notice this, 20:43, that is 17 minutes to 9. Let me go back. I want to show you that sometime, right? If you go back and you look at this, the vehicle was moving at 18:57. That is 3 minutes to 7. The vehicle was moving Kutlwanong Street. At 1 minute later, the ignition is off. 2 minutes later, because 2 minutes to 7, the ignition is off. But a minute later, the car was moving. Same Kutlwanong Street. So then, at 7 o'clock, the ignition is on. Then at 20:43, the car is now moving. So it then tells me that, wait a minute. So Longwe Twala was moving, if he was the driver of the vehicle, up and down, up and down. Wait, that behavior is suspicious. If the tracker record is to, if anything is to go by as you look at the tracker record, here's this one that I find it very interesting. I was like, wait a minute, this one is very interesting. How? You said how? Let me show you. Look at the GPS coordinate that were being given the timeline. Take that and say, wait, where was Longwe Twala? According to his statement on Metro FM, he was inside the house. So why is the movement outside the car, outside, why is the movement of the vehicle? If Longwe Twala was inside the house, he only left when the intruders stamped into that house. Why? Who is moving Longwe Twala's car? So then it means that Longwe Twala, he came but not alone. That's scenario number one. That's why I'm saying this is very interesting. You know, the problem it lies. So it means that Longwe Twala was not alone in the car because he can't be in the house enjoying things, eating food, but whilst at the same time he's in the car, there's a movement of the vehicle. It can't be that according to Zandi Kumalo, they were together in the house. Longwe Twala left when the intruders were, but when he arrived, he was inside the house. But what the movement of the vehicle, right? It is very interesting. Do you see where I'm going with this? There is something that does not make sense in this whole thing, right? So there's a guy on Twitter who says Longwe drove off and remained in the same street. Possibility intruders were at scene around or after 8. Quite interesting, this one. Take this one. It's quite interesting. Follow this one, right? And then listen to this one. Let's visit this one. This is very interesting, guys. It gives me. So, Haibo, what? Oh, this woman joined the South African Police Service. There I am a constable with 13 years, still waiting to be promoted. This one. Now, listen to this one. We're going to come back and interrogate Longwe Twala. There's something about this one that needs to be interrogated. Patricia Mashala posted and say, the trucker lady has been appointed in October 2021 in the South African Police Service. And she is already a sergeant. Remember the previous one where this guy says, I've been in the South African Police Service as a constable for 13 years. I'm still waiting to be promoted even now. This one, she's already a sergeant. Hey, Tito. But let's go back a bit, right? The car is at Kutlanong Street, moving at Kutlanong Street, ignition on, ignition off. Wait, go back to the Ntapseng version, right? And say, wait, Ntapseng, give us a version. Who was on the street? Because Ntapseng was on the street. She saw people. One, after the first sound noise, bang, Ntapseng saw one person with the dreadlocks running into the park, right? Listen to this one. After the second one, Ntapseng saw two people running after that one. Ntapseng never saw a vehicle doing up and down on Kutlanong Street. But the tracker is telling us about a movement on Kutlanong Street. A movement that is not picked up by Ntapseng and Yolanda, who are on the street. Something that doesn't make sense. You've got to tell me something here, it doesn't make sense. And I'm telling you, you've got to tell me the truth. Something here, it doesn't make sense. For the version of the tracker to make sense, you then have to tell me that somebody was in Longwe Twala's car while Longwe Twala was in the car. But look, it can't be that Longwe Twala is in the car and now I must believe the version of Ntapseng as well as the version of the version of Tumelo Madlala, Mthokozisi Twala, as well as Zandi Kumalo, because these three, Tumelo Madlala, Mthokozisi, Zandi Kumalo, gives us a version that Longwe Twala stepped into that house and remained inside the house. They don't give us a version of Longwe Twala moving up and down, being on the street. And number two, pay attention to Zandi Kumalo's version, when did Longwe Twala arrived inside the house? That's when you will see that the tracker thing doesn't make sense. This tracker thing, it doesn't make sense at all. When did Longwe Twala arrive? And, okay, let's argue and say he arrived at 7, right? When he arrived at 7, take this version, Zandi Kumalo and the others. When he arrived, he remained in the house. So who was moving? Forget about the previous ones. Let's say he was busy spotting the area. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that. Okay, we say, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But then you went inside the house at around 7. So who was in your car then? We are trying to make sense of this thing that doesn't make sense. Please don't blame me. I'm trying to make sense of this thing that doesn't make absolute sense. But I'm trying to make sense of it. Help me again. Which one? If we take the fact that she arrived earlier on, right? And Ntapseng and Yolanda, they were outside. Then she's moving in Kutlanong Street. Even if we say where Yolanda and Ntapseng was, they could not see everything. But then for the fact that the tracker says he was moving on Kutlanong Street, even if they don't see everything and anything at the Kumalo's house, but because there's movement on Kutlanong Street, they should have seen the red polo then. Ntapseng and Yolanda could have seen the red polo. Do you remember one of the defense lawyers asked her a question whether she saw any unusual thing, an unusual car? She saw nothing. Remember, we came back and we said, but then, according to the confession, there was, footy. This thing doesn't make sense. The more I think about it, listen to this one. According to the confession, of the confession, right, of accused number 2 and 1. I'm not sure about 1, but even 1. There was someone that was waiting outside as this incident of the death of Senzo Meya was happening. I think it's accused number 5, if I'm not mistaken. But that's according to the confession from accused number 2. But according to number 1, there's somebody different who was waiting outside the yard. Now listen, Ntapseng and Yolanda, who's outside, doesn't pick this movement of the polo. Okay, according to the confession, according to number 2, this guy, he doesn't pick this. Longwe, as he's moving in Kutlanong Street, he doesn't see these people who are camping outside the Kumalo house. Hey, man. Me, I've got the question. You have to answer me. Don't ask me questions and say, Bongan, manje, uthi ay, ngani impendulo, mina nginembuzo. Ngifuna ukwazi ukuthi ngicela ningihlanganisele u-101 la, because khona into engayenzi sense la. There's movement, loco. There's movement of this vehicle up and down. They don't see accused number 1 and 2, according to this. They don't see them jumping inside that house. Hey, man, there's something off. That's why I'm saying about that inking ayamanga. It exposes you, and it exposes you for real. Now you've got to make it sense. You've got to make it make sense to me. Okay, as moving because. I can't. So yeah, Advocate Mgomezulu was rushed to the hospital and it has been said that we'll only see him tomorrow. Chances are okay. Probably he's gonna be fine. So yeah, that is where I'm gonna okay. Let me stop this notes of mine. Okay, let me come back. So, what I'm going to do, I need to go back to the Zandi Kumalo's version. And you need to go back to Colonel Stein. Because at some point, if I'm not mistaken, he said something around the arrival of Longwe Twala. So it is very important to go back there and look at what is he saying about the arrival of Longwe Twala, because if I'm not mistaken, he speaks about the communication or some sort, man, of Longwe Twala arriving there. And if my memory serves me well, Longwe Twala arrived at around 6 o'clock. If my memory serves me well, so now I need to go back to Zandi Kumalo's version and understand when Longotwala arrived. And then I need to go back to Mthokozisi's version and understand when Longotwala arrived. And go back to Tumelo Madlala's version and understand when Longo arrived. And now I need to go back to the Metro FM interview with Longotwala, and maybe I will pick up something when Longotwala arrived. But furthermore, I need to understand something about this. When you arrived Longotwala, right? I need to listen to Mthokozisi Tumelo and Zandi Kumalo, and then I need to understand when Longwe arrived, what did he do? I do remember one of them telling, it's not Zandi Kumalo, but amongst the two, between Tumelo and Mthokozisi, I do remember one of them saying that when Longwe arrived, the mood changed. Senzo Mewa was no longer okay, right? I do remember one of them telling us that the two of them went, Mthokozisi and what went outside, and then when they were about to go, Unzori, which is Senzo Mewa, he went outside, he was busy there, and then Kelly Kumalo came out and say, is this how you live? You can't even say goodbye, and then they went into the house to say goodbye, and that's when this whole thing happened, because they stayed there, and then the intruders walks inside the house. Do you see that vision, right? But in all of this vision, I do not remember any single one of them who came out and say, Longotwala was in the car. Longotwala, the picture that was created about Longotwala was in the car. Was in the house. So there's got to somebody's got to make it make sense to me. 2, if Longotwala was in the house, then somebody must be in his car. So if there is a person who is in his car, that person must tell us about the intruders, how they walk inside the house, because the person was inside the house. That person must have seen the intruders. This is very interesting. You see, the problem of lying, it creates this. The problem of lying, it creates this problem now. Because now I've got a lot of questions. Who was driving the Polo? Maybe that's another question. When it arrived, whoa. We need to go back to to Zandi Kumalo, Mthokozisi Twala, and Tumelo Madlala and ask this question. When Longotwala arrived, did you see who was driving the car? I think that question was asked by Advocate Mshololo, right? Did you see who was in the car? Huh? When he arrived alone or with somebody. We need to hear that. Because that then tells us that we need to know something. Yabona inkinga yamanga iqala la. Inkinga yamanga iqala la ngoba manje ziningi into ofanele uyichaze and sekunzima ukuthi uyichaze. Kodwa ke asidluleni lapho. Sise la. I was planning to do a live stream today, but unfortunately I couldn't. That was my plan. Unfortunately, I couldn't. I need to record this video now, upload it, and go. Why? Because my sister has just done an serious operation. So now I'm gonna rush to the hospital. She did the operation late yesterday, and she's done with the operation today. They finished yesterday, yes, but yeah. So now obviously she's in pain. So now I'm planning that I need to go there today. I'm definitely gonna go today. So I'm not gonna do the live stream, but yeah, I've received some YouTube. I've been in touch with YouTube, and they've been telling me that I need to go do a live stream for you guys. Mind you, if YouTube tells you that, hey, Baba, do my live streams, so who am I not to listen? So I'm going to do my live stream, and so yeah, my schedule is gonna be a bit tough. I'd prepared everything with the hope that I was gonna do this live streams, but yeah, things are not working well, especially these days because of the situation. Remember, I said last week we were burying my elder brother from Gusait Ndagamamkulu. We were somewhere in Mpumalanga, so I was busy. You know what I'm saying, with the funeral arrangement. A lot has happened there as well. Now this week I'm dealing with my sister, who I'm not even sure when she's gonna be discharged. She's a bit far, but yeah. Other than that, let's keep the positive spirit. I'm hoping and wishing everything's gonna go well. I'm gonna be praying that everything is gonna go well. I'm not at this moment. I'm not gonna talk about the type of operation that he has done, but yeah, it's a major one. I don't wanna lie to you. It's a major one. I'm just giving you a reason why I haven't done my live stream. Is not that I don't wanna do my live stream, as YouTube have told me to say, please do my live stream for your audience. I'm definitely gonna do it, guys. Nonetheless, let's stop the video here with the hope that I'm going to see you guys on the next episode. And until that next episode, good people, please take care.